drop on the rear tire. And yeah, we really hope that the medium will support him until the end. And then it will be also tough physically because the air is so hot. And in this track, it's difficult to breathe. You are always under the stress and you can't have any relax. So I expect that for few riders, maybe the race will be even harder. But anyway, let's see how we can finish.
Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks to my Maragala. We'll pause then now for the Indonesian national anthem.
Jadi paling Indonesia kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita berseru Indonesia bersatu. Inilah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rajaku semuanya. Dan jiwanya pengelola untuk Indonesia merdeka. Hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Enough to send a tingle down your spine. Putri Ariani with the rendition of the Indonesian national anthem. As the atmosphere continues to build. They love their MotoGP here in Indonesia, and that is one of the masters of understatement. And we are now just 7 minutes away from an Indonesian Grand Prix, which is certain to produce high drama, and the stakes continue to lift with the World Championship lead on the line.
7 minutes away from the start. 7 points between Martin and Bagnaia at the top of the championship. Last year's Mandalika race winner in the wet condition course, Miguel Oliveira, now on board the Crypto Data RNF Aprilia. Let's get some thoughts after the race. So
I think we have mixed feelings that decide at the last moment. I'm not going to tell you which one we have. Actually, I don't know at the moment because they put it in when I was not there. So that's a good answer, I think. And but I think it's for the whole bit a little bit similar. So everything is a little bit of a guess. Thank you, Wilco. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Wilco Zielenberg. There are some really, really big decisions to be made, aren't there, in terms of that rear tyre choice. 27 punishing laps for the bikes and the body, and particular for the tyres. We did see in the earlier Moto2 race that there's going to be, there were some blistering issues late on as we continue to get these jaw-dropping aerial shots over this Pertamina Mandalika circuit. What a vantage point that is. The proper bird's eye view, looking down on a grid at the moment is ramped full of tension. Pega Bagnaia's worst grid position since the 2022 Portuguese Grand Prix. Yesterday, the second time he missed the top 6 in the sprint, going from the lowly 13th place on the grid. Last year he struggled in the rain conditions here at Mandalika. Victory. He'll be hoping that history doesn't repeat itself in the full dry race here today. But he has it all on, doesn't he? To try and break the momentum of the Martinator. And for the first time in his MotoGP career, sits at the top of the MotoGP World Championship. He said right now he's living the dream. It's been a fairy tale season for Jorge Martin and the Prima Power Ducati. Full throttle, it's lights out, and we are racing in MotoGP in Indonesia. It's a really good start on such a KTM. What's happening with Martin? Jorge Martin. Martin from the back of the second row in 6th place. A sensational barnstorming start from the World Champion leader. He gets the whole cut. Martin leads here in Indonesia. From 6, incredible.
Bagnaia is being aggressive on this first lap. Watching him further back, he's up at least 2 or 3 places. He's ahead of his teammate, he's ahead of Jack Miller, and he's ahead of Marco Bezzecchi.
How good is that upgraded Ducati launch device? How good is Jorge Martin off the line? Well, we just saw there a perfect illustration. One of the best starts you'll see in MotoGP. He launched away like a rocket, didn't he? Jorge Martin then leads, being hotly pursued by Maverick Vinales. Fabio Quartararo there in third place. Aleix Espargaro again has missed the start. The factory of Freeman back in fifth.
Pecco Bagnaia is up 3 places. He's up into ninth place. Aleix Espargaro's first lap is getting worse as he goes wide. Bagnaia might gain another 2 places there on the inside of Marquez and Espargaro.
Around the outside then now through the third gear. Turn 11 as Aleix Espargaro. He leans on the world champion Bagnaia. Marquez gets squeezed out the marble as well. It's been a real bad first lap for the Repsol man who's got at least further wide in the sprint yesterday. Bastianini runs wide. It is absolute carnage on this first lap here in Mandalika. Marco Bezzecchi is going backwards as well. At the front, it is Jorge Martin that leads, 3 tenths clear of Maverick Vinales. On the inside of Aleix Espargaro, that's Brad Binder.
Bagnaia, I think, defending from Aleix Espargaro. We've seen that earlier in Gresham, make no mistake. From Pecco Bagnaia, taking your advantage, slow what's going on ahead of it. But Martin and Vinales away at the front. Half a second clear of Quartararo. Then it's Marini, Binder, and Bagnaia has gained 7 places on the first lap.
Martin capitalising brilliantly on that new upgraded Ducati start device. He's got the soft front tyre. He knows he has to try and get clear air at the front of this Grand Prix. Otherwise, he might encounter some overheating issues with that front tyre. Bagnaia's a little bit wide there, a little bit sluggish. A little bit scrappy in that first section. He does resist Aleix Espargaro, who again missed the start and has not been able to take advantage early on of that soft rear tyre. One of only 4 riders in this Grand Prix that went for the soft rear.
Oh, Quartararo offline there as he comes through the change of direction. That's going to hurt him all the way down to turn number 10. Luca Marini's on the racing line. Quartararo on the inside. Bagnaia now looking to go through.
Marini gets credit. Yeah, Marini's been collected. Marini then will not get the chance to serve his long penalty. He goes down at turn 10. I was just about to say, Marco Bezzecchi, we saw him getting pushed around and barged around on that first lap. He went down to 13th place from 9th. But now we've only got half of the Muni VR46 Ducati team in this race. On the inside then comes Binder. I think Binder there was worried about running into the back of Quartararo. On the outside with nothing he could do. The luckless Luca Marini. Now then, this is the fight. Currently racing for third place. It's Quartararo from Bagnaia from Aleix Espargaro.
This has been such a good, all the credit to Martin for his start to take the lead, but this has been a world champion's first couple of laps from Pecco Bagnaia, who's staring at the podium positions up ahead of him, with Fabio Quartararo running in third place, as Martin takes the fastest lap of the race. Bagnaia is going with him, Quartararo at the moment is not.
Bagnaia's going to be careful though about the front tyre temperature pressure, isn't he? In that dirty air behind Martin. Quartararo at the moment fighting a great fight, and he also often does manufacturing Yamaha. We've lost Paul Espargaro. That's a rather disconsolate trudge through the gravel trap, isn't it, for the man who sadly has lost his full-time seat in the Gas Tech 3 team next year. On board there with Marc Marquez, half quickly to that front Engo there. Maybe just centimetres offline, dirty part of the track, and that spells trouble for Paul Espargaro. He's down. Frankie Morbidelli. Yes, Frankie Morbidelli is picked as well on the factory Yamaha, so early problems for him. So let's try and regroup. Let's try and take stock. Martin, after his rocket launch off the line from 6th to 1st at the first corner. Martin then is the lead. Vinales second. Quartararo we're looking at in third place. We're on board with world champion Bagnaia, who in 2 laps has recovered 9 places. Sensational stuff for the world champion. It's going to get even better for him, isn't it? He slots on the inside of Quartararo through the third gear. Turn 13. This is bullied by Bagnaia. It's taken him, 2 3/4 laps to get himself from 13th to 3rd.
Aleix Espargaro immediately relegates Quartararo down to 5th. Aleix Espargaro knows he's got to make up ground early on. Quartararo's trying to relegate it back again. That's brave and bold from the 2021 world champion who leads it in again. Aleix Espargaro knows with that soft rear tyre, he needs to make up ground in the first half of this race and then manage that tyre towards the end.
Another fastest lap of the Grand Prix on here, then Martin, 1:31.619. The Binder Marini is currently under investigation for the FA manager features. Quartararo runs in Hotman in the first corner. That allows Brad Binder to ease on through. And some of you were watching closely that incident turn 10 early on with Binder and Marini. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly Binder's crash, you know. But I just want to explain what happened. I was sure about this. He pulled out to pass and would have pulled the pass off. The problem is, I've been in exactly the same situation. When you get by and then you realise you need that extra bit of room to run wide, like often happens, another metre, and there's someone there. You know, there's someone so close in front
that you realise, oh no. So he was trying to go for the get between and took Marini out. Yeah, he was charging in hot there. We saw the onboard actually time while we were listening to your thoughts there. He was certainly running a pretty hot pace into that turn number 10 on the outside with nothing he could do with Luca Marini. So yesterday he was the victim, wasn't he, Brad Binder, when Aleix Spargo took him out of turn 16. Today, the perpetrator, Brad Binder, who is currently in fifth place. We're looking ahead to the world champion, Pekka Bagnaia, who is putting together one of the best rescue missions we've seen of the season so far. 13th to 3rd in the space of 2.5 laps, just showing his absolute class. Brilliant stuff this by Bagnaia. Looking back then to Aleix Spargo, who has not been able to take full advantage of that soft rear tyre early on. How will that cost him towards the back end of this race? It's a third successive best lap of the race so far for Martina. 1:31.212. That was the first time where it was clearly a lot faster than Vinales in second. He took 4 tenths out of Maverick in second spot, and already now nearly a second clear at the front.
Martin asking big questions of Vinales at the moment. Top Gun does not have the answers, running in second place, although he is still 1.8 seconds clear of Pecco Bagnaia, or at least he was at the start of this lap. So for Maverick Vinales, it might be a case of just managing what he's got and trying to hold on to that podium position. Brad Binder has a long lap penalty. No real surprise with that one. It looked from our vantage point as if Binder was the guilty party there. He will be coming through the long lap penalty route, along with Marini, of course, who still has to serve his long lap penalty. Now he has rejoined this race.
You know that some people inside Red Bull KTM are going to be going, well, hang on a minute,
Going to get taken out by Aleix Spargo yesterday, and there was no sanction coming the way of the factory of Pretty Man. There is Aleix Spargo at the moment doing his best to try and hang in there with Pecco Bagnaia. Through we come then through turn 13 and hard right through the fourth gear in Indonesia today. No points for Marc Marquez. And that is two big reasons why he feels like he has no choice but to walk away from HRC next season and build his career back up at Ducati.
2 in 2 days for Marc Marquez. What more can I do? It looks like he's saying to the heavens there, well, Marc Marquez's race is over. Taka Nakagami is also dropped a place on this lap. It's back to Gian Antonio now moves into the top 10. Nakagami, though, is still the leading Honda on circuit now with Marquez out of play. On board then with Brad Binder as we look at the sole remaining Mooney VR46 Ducati. Of course, Brad Binder's already made contact with the other one in this race, with Luca Marini now out of this race. Bezzecchi will already surely be thinking of the pain that's going through his collarbone at the moment. His main thought is trying to get past Jack Miller on the way into turn 10, but Miller.
For Jorge Martin, this one is going to sting. This one is going to linger in the mind for a good time if he doesn't win this GP World Championship this year. He had it in his hands. He was building a commanding advantage in the World Championship, and he dumps it at turn 11, 3 seconds clear of Maverick Vinales, and in a pile of dust and debris, straight away, head in hands, Jorge Martin. He was on that soft front tyre. Was that an issue? Was he already having problems managing that front grip? On board he goes, tips it in to the third gear, 120 kilometres an hour. Turn number 11. They cannot believe it, can they? Fonzinietto, the rider coach, bashes the Prima Prama Ducati wall there. Jorge Martin, wow, can you believe this? It is now back in the hands of Pecco Bagnaia. Angel Martin looks on Jorge Martin's distraught father. What an opportunity this is. Brad Binder has got another long lap penalty, another irresponsible riding sanction after his contact with Miguel Oliveira. Now then, Pecco Bagnaia looking to jump all over Martin from a straight gear. Pecco Bagnaia then now trying to reel in Maverick Vinales. Vinales, of course, on course at the moment for potential history. No rider has ever won in MotoGP for 3 different manufacturers. He's done it for Suzuki, he's done it for Yamaha. Your new championship leader, that's assuming that Pecco Bagnaia.
Pecco Bagnaia has not got to the checkered flag yet, and with the way this race weekend and the way this Grand Prix is going, do not assume anything. We're down to 14 runners in this Grand Prix, the 22 that started, and that one will take a long time to get over for Jorge Martin, especially if Pecco Bagnaia wins this race.
Jorge Martin, inconsolable at the side of the track. He's just a frustrated, a dejected spectator now. All he can do is watch on. He's going to be hoping that somehow Maverick Vinales can keep Pecco Bagnaia at bay and take
4 tenths quicker than Bagnaia's going out front. Marco Bezzecchi, it will be the most heroic sixth place that anyone will ever take it in a MotoGP race. He's doing a stunning job.
This is the perfect illustration of what Fabio Quartararo repeatedly tells the media and repeatedly tells the fans, isn't it? When he can run the pace of the best riders in this field, but he's overtaken, there's been an issue, isn't it? I mean, how long has he been sat glued to the rear tyre of Vinales' factory Aprilia? But he just can't jam it in there, can he? He hasn't yet been able to stretch through all weekend. Again, though, he just can't quite get through. Vinales doing a sterling job here, desperately holding on for that second. We're about to start the final lap. 4.3 kilometres, Pecco Bagnaia is away from one of the biggest wins of his Grand Prix career. Under immense pressure he was coming into this Mandalika battle. He lost the World Championship for the first time since the end of April in Jerez. But he's about to punish Jorge Martin to the absolute max hit in Mandalika. He starts the last lap, a second clear of Vinales.
Yeah, it was a crucial lap back for Bagnaia as Vinales was preoccupied with Quartararo behind him and did a 32-0. Bagnaia was able to lead that lead back down to over a second. So even if Quartararo was able to take this second place on this final lap, there is no time remaining for him to catch Pecco Bagnaia. He just needs to make sure that he is mistake-free on this final lap. What can Quartararo do about catching Vinales? He's staying back in that Aprilia for a number of laps now. He's been trying to work out how he can get through. Turns might well be his best opportunity, but he's not close enough.
31.6 on lap 26 from Bagnaia. That is just mind-blowing pace for this late on. It looks like he is going to hold off Vinales and Quartararo. We're all eyes, aren't we now, on the former factory Yamaha teammates. Vinales then, they power through turn 12. Third gear, 130 kilometers an hour. They drop down and slightly off camber through turn 13. It looks like Pecco Bagnaia has got this one covered. Vinales desperately holding on here for third place. Is Quartararo going to go on? Is he not be close enough? But Pecco Bagnaia with 2 corners remaining here in Indonesia, with Jorge Martin down and out of the 3-second lead. Through the final corner we go. Bagnaia almost at walking pace as he comes over the line, but it's a monumental massive victory in Mandalika for Pecco Bagnaia in the face of his MotoGP World Championship. True absolute delirium inside the factory, the Catty garage. That was the ride of a world champion. That was the ride of the man who's fighting tooth and nail to keep that number 1 plate. Bagnaia wins it, Vinales second, Quartararo a superb third place. Fabio Di Antonio a career best fourth. Marco Bezzecchi got Brad Binder on the last lap for a superb fifth place. Binder having had 2 long laps, an eventful race for him, he takes 6th. Miller, Baccini